Hello everyone and welcome back to another video over here on the LM320 channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another plane, the biggest commercial airline in the world. Yes, the Airbus A380. The A380 is quiet, insanely smooth and loved by passengers, yet Airbus killed it. So how did an aircraft that people adored end up becoming one of the biggest commercial failures in aviation history? This isn't the story of a bad plane. It's just the story of bad timing, airlines changing, and a market that moved on, really. So, let's start at the beginning of the Airbus A380. What was it designed for? So, when Airbus launched the A380 in the early 2000s, the world looked very different. Airports like Heathrow, JFK, and Hong Kong were very slot restricted. Airlines believed the future was simple: fewer airports, bigger planes, and more passengers per flight. The A380 was built to dominate the world, carrying over 500 passengers, ultra-long range, mad cargo capacities, and unbeatable passenger comfort. On paper, total sense, but aviation doesn't stand still. The world changed fast. While Airbus was building the A380, something else happened. Engines got way more efficient. Suddenly, twin-engine aircraft like the 787 and the 777 began dominating the skies, as they could fly just as far with half the engines, less fuel and far lower costs. At the time, airlines had shifted strategies. Instead of flying from London, Dubai, Sydney, they can now fly London to Sydney direct. Passengers loved it, and the airlines loved it, but the A380 didn't love it because it was unable to do that, and it was sad. The economics were just brutal as well. Here's the harsh reality: the A380 only makes money when it's almost full. So even if you're missing 50 or 100 passengers, fuel burn does stay the same, crew costs stay the same, maintenance stays the same, and airport fees stay the same. And unlike smaller jets, you can't just use it on a thinner route today. You either fill it or you lose money. This is why it only worked out for a few airlines really, which were Emirates, Singapore Airlines, Qatar and Qantas briefly. Most airlines took one look at the numbers and just walked away. The airport and infrastructure nightmares also were a big problem for the A380. You see, it had a very large wingspan, which would have been too much for normal sized airports at the time, where 747-400s and 777s mainly operated out of. So airports basically had to do special gates just for the A380. They had to reinforce the taxiways, so the plane didn't just taxi onto the taxiway and fall straight through it. And they had to modify terminals as well to, prepare over 500 passengers to fly long haul. Most airports were just not ready and didn't want to spend millions upgrading it for one aircraft type. If your plane can only fly to certain airports, that's already a problem. And I can't remember off the top of my head how many the A380 actually flies to, but it's not a lot. I'll put it on the video now. Airlines don't want risk anymore either. Modern airlines want flexibility, frequency, smaller aircraft and, fleet commonality really, for maintenance ease. Would you rather fly one massive A380 per day or 3 A350s across the day? If demand drops, you can just pull one flight, not the entire plane. The A380 locked airlines into high risk operations, and post 2008 financial crisis, that was a deal breaker. So, was the A380 actually a commercial failure? Here's the truth. It was a commercial failure. The market definitely was a mismatch for it, and they sold far fewer than expected. But it had incredible engineering, beloved by the passengers, and it was one of the quietest wide bodies ever. And it is still iconic. Some people call it the king of the skies and stuff. The A380 didn't fail because it was bad. It failed because, the world moved on without it. It was designed in 2003, but released in 2010s after the 2008 financial crisis, which in itself was a big problem for the plane. So, the A380 is just a reminder that aviation isn't just about building the best plane, it's about building the right plane at the right time, which is why you will probably never see anything bigger than the A380 in passenger service or a bigger cargo plane than the Antonov 225. Even though its production has ended by now, every time one lifts off it does still turn heads. People go, I want to stay to watch the A380. If you're at Heathrow Airport spotting, for example, you're like, I'm going to go now, it's getting late. never mind. You look on Flight Radar, what do you see? There's an A380 on taxi. You want to stay, don't you? Yeah. I've seen one once. I don't really live particularly near an airport, and I saw an A380 once when I was around the Heathrow area, like really low. I might be able to put the clip in now. And it was just an incredible plane to see. It's absolutely massive, first of all. And I was like, what? This is like a massive plane. How is this flying? So that is the story of the Airbus A380. I did hope you enjoyed. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, just drop a little like and subscribe. It's really helpful. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.